Yo, what's up everyone? I hope you're doing well. This will be my review of the new Extraction movie, Extraction 2, just dropped on Netflix. This review is going up a little bit late. Hope you guys don't mind, but let's get right to the review.
But you survived.
Alright, so Extraction 2 is directed by Sam Hargrave. He also directed Extraction 1. And the plot of this movie takes us back from the brink of death. Commando Tyler Rake embarks on a dangerous mission to save a ruthless gangster's imprisoned family. So yeah, that's pretty much the straightforward plot. This is like a hardcore action movie. I did like the first Extraction a decent bit, but you know, this one upped the stakes, upped the ante, upped the action. So I felt like this one actually was better than the first one. So if you like the first one, you're gonna really like this one. If you didn't like the first one, I would still give this one a try because this movie is great. You know, this week we've been having actually some pretty good movies. I think The Flash is good. I think Elemental's great. I think this one's great also. So this summer is shaping up to be really good for movies so far. But our cast here is, of course, our lead, Chris Hemsworth as Tyler Rake. That's an interesting name, Tyler Rake. But you know, Chris Hemsworth, he does amazing in anything that he does. He's getting to be so good at action. Like, he's just a full-on action star now, in my opinion. I think he does most of his stunts for this movie, and I think he does an excellent job at the stunts in this movie. Like, he's hardcore in this movie, you know. He gets stabbed a couple times, but he's still in it. He's like fierce against these villains. And then my other two standouts are the siblings, Kaz and Nick. I don't know how to say their names, so I don't want to butcher them, but I think that they both did excellent. Their emotion was helpful, and they're great supporting characters to play off Chris Hemsworth. And, you know, I feel like just them as a trio was awesome to see. You know, they're all acting great against each other. They're all just doing so great in their action scenes. I was very impressed with all their acting. And kind of on to what I want to say about John Wick. You know, John Wick is my favorite action movie of the year so far. It sits at a 5 out of 5. This one isn't as good as John Wick, but it kind of takes some of John Wick's style and like does a little bit different with it. Because, you know, John Wick is very stylized, but this one is very action heavy. And this one just had a lot going with it. It's kind of like John Wick. It's very action heavy. You get like 4 action sequences. They're all pretty big. But, you know, I would love to see a John Wick versus Tyler Rake crossover movie that we'll never get. But I feel like that would be very fun and very action-packed. Dude, seeing Keanu Reeves versus Chris Hemsworth would be like heaven, bro. That would be such a masterpiece. I would love it. But this film has a 21-minute one-take action sequence. Just get ready for it when you enter the prison and you see the courtyard. That's kind of where it starts when you enter the prison. But when you get into the courtyard, oh my goodness, things get so good, so crazy. Like, this is one of the best action sequences, one take I've ever seen. Sure, there's probably some little hidden cuts in there because there obviously has to be for like effects. But if there isn't, wow, damn, Sam Hargrave, good job, man. That's some great directing here, and I'm happy that you actually got to see characters kind of mess up in these scenes because, you know, a one-take action sequence can't be perfect all the time, and it takes a lot of stunt people to make this work. And Chris Hemsworth in the middle of it, he's got to take a lot of like fake punches and all that. But man, this works so well. This action sequence will go down as one of the best action sequences probably of all time. It's so great what they're able to do here. And for our villain of the film, you know, the villain of the films are okay. I kind of had a better time with the villain of this one instead of the villain of the first one. I feel like the villain of this film was a little more fierce, and it took Tyler Rake a little more time to take him down. But, you know, that final act, the final confrontation was actually really good because the villain was like kind of menacing. You know, he wasn't someone that you liked, and that's what we need in a villain. Just someone that's ruthless, someone that we want Tyler Rake to kill, and I thought that was basically our villain. You know, it was great. Runtime is about 2 hours here. You know, I feel like it pretty much flies by because you have so many action sequences. You have that 21 take action sequence. Yeah, I feel like this runtime just flies by. I didn't really notice it at all, but I feel like 2 hours is pretty good for an action film, you know? John Wick was about 3 hours, but I feel like that worked for that one. This one's 2 hours, that works for this one. So whatever works for the film, and it worked for the film. So overall, I thought Extraction 2 was a great time. You know, Netflix has been struggling. A lot of their films this year are down on my 2023 list. But, you know, this one, they got a hit right here. Sam Hargrave and Chris Hemsworth. I'd love to see an Extraction 3 with them. And, you know, this one kind of sets up an Extraction 3 with an actor that I was delighted to see. You know, I love this actor they show at the end of this movie. But, you know, Sam Hargrave does an excellent job directing this. Chris Hemsworth, he's so good with his action sequences here. The action scenes are off the charts in this one. It's just a terrific time, you know. I wish I could have saw this one on theaters, but, you know, Netflix and their stingy little release schedule, they can't release movies on theaters for some reason. But, you know, overall, I'm going to give Extraction 2 a 4 out of 5. It's a glorious action movie. That's all I got to say. Glorious action movie with some pretty good emotion at points. So I would go check this out on Netflix, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.